What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. If you want to see daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. First thing I'm going to address, I think the obvious, the mustache. I'm sorry if you hate it, but you know what? It makes me laugh because I think it looks ridiculous. But yeah, so if you guys want to roast me or whatever in the comment section down below, you guys can go for that. I don't really mind that type of stuff. I think it looks hilarious. Do I think it looks amazing? No, but I think it looks funny. So I'm rocking with the mustache. But that's it for that type of intro. What I'm going to be talking about today is kind of a question because there's so many things that everybody's talking about with the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, wow, they got to improve their tackling. Maybe it's the coaches. Maybe they sit Patrick Queen on third down. Oh, the Ravens, they got to go out and they got to get offensive line improvement. They need to go find a tackle. They got to make a trade. The Ravens, they got to get a linebacker. They got to get an edge rusher. They got to go out. They got to trade for a running back. And I've talked about all those things. But what I want to talk about is, do they? With the roster that the Ravens have constructed now, obviously considering the players that will be returning from injury and things like that, so somewhat counting in Nick Boyle, counting in Chris Westry, counting in Sammy Watkins, not counting in, Marcus Peters, JK, Gus Edwards, that type of thing. Is this team capable of winning a Super Bowl? Because I think everybody right now, after both of the losses, it's like Ravens fans have been scrambling and forgetting that this is still a 5-2 football team. I talked about this. I said if the Ravens lost two games in the first 5 weeks, I would be happy with that. I would completely accept that. And the Ravens are going into the bye week at 5-2. Okay, tied for the best record in the AFC. All right, this isn't like the Ravens are 3-4. They're not in the same position that the Kansas City Chiefs are in, where the Chiefs are sitting at, I got to pull up the record, I believe they're 3-4. They're in the bottom half of the AFC where they're looking at that, and they're like, Chiefs fans are really concerned. Now, they still have Patrick Mahomes, still have a lot of great players, but the Ravens, they're still a 5-2 football team. But there's very glaring holes. There's gaping holes that this team has. And is the roster good enough? Are the great parts of this roster good enough? Not even just good enough. Are they great enough to be able to overcome the downfalls of other parts on the team? And now I'm going to talk about the downfalls really briefly to mention them. The offensive line play has been a struggle. The running back play has not been amazing. Now, could that be connected to the offensive line? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not saying that they're not connected whatsoever. They are connected. The pass rush. Now, there's been some bright spots with the pass rush, but there's been a lot of times the Ravens just cannot get home, whether they're blitzing or if they're just rushing 3 or 4, not getting home. And then the final part is tackling. The Ravens are not tackling, whether it seems like they're unwilling to tackle, whether it seems like their mechanics are off, they just cannot seem to tackle. Guys are running right by them. They can't take pursuit angles, and everything seems to be going wrong whenever a player gets in space against the Baltimore Ravens. So with those holes, will the strengths of Lamar Jackson being able to completely will this team to so many victories, will that be able to overcome those when it comes to the playoffs, when it comes to the AFC Championship, when it comes to the Super Bowl? Will he be able to do that? Will the stars on the defensive side of the ball, Marlon Humphrey, Calais Campbell, be able to step up and make some big plays? Because this has been an opportunistic defense for the most part. Odafe Oweh has made some massive plays. Calais Campbell has made, in my opinion, the biggest play of the season when he blocked that field goal against the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, even bigger than Odafe Oweh punching the ball out against Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I felt like Calais Campbell's was just absolutely momentum change. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. Both plays, amazing. But, like, Anthony Averett has gotten some big plays, very opportunistic plays. Deshaun Elliott, opportunistic plays. Like, so the defense, yes, it's struggled. It hasn't been able to tackle. It hasn't been able to get a lot of a pass rush. But at the same time, they've been opportunistic. They've made some plays when they need to make plays. And I think that's a big thing to look at. And then finally, the wide receivers of this team have become the strength of the offense. Hollywood Brown has been doing a tremendous job at getting open. Sammy Watkins, when he's been able to play, has been doing a very good job at navigating where to be on the football field and when to make those big time plays. And then obviously Mark Andrews in the passing game. I know he's not technically a wide receiver, but he runs routes like a wide receiver. The dude is a pass catcher. He's basically a wide receiver playing the tight end spot. And he's been phenomenal. So the passing game of this team has been so good. And I think the passing game is able to negate the rushing attack. I really do. I think that with the Ravens and how well that they've been able to pass the ball, and if they're passing the ball at their best, that will force the defense to play against the pass, which will allow the run to flourish. If teams are just going to play the run will not work this year like it has in years past. Last year, if teams were like, oh, the Ravens are going to run the football with Gus and JK, they still couldn't stop it. That's not the case this year. When teams know that the Ravens are going to run, they're stopping the Ravens. It's just they're now throwing the football. And so when teams aren't trying to stop the run, for example, the Kansas City Chiefs against the Ravens, it didn't seem like they were selling out to stop the run like the Indianapolis Colts were, like the Denver Broncos were. But the Ravens ran all over the Chiefs because the Chiefs were playing the pass because you know what? They had to go against Hollywood and they had to go against those guys. And they're like, let's stop the Ravens doing the passing attack and things like that. And the Ravens were able to still win that game. But overall, I feel like that on the offensive side of the ball, I think the offense, with the way that the roster is constructed, I think it's okay. I really do. Now, could it be improved upon? Absolutely. If they get a better running back or a better offensive lineman, absolutely this can get better. But as of right now, this is a Super Bowl capable offense. Now the defense. No. It's not. I would love to say it is. I think they got to get the tackling. They have to get the tackling. I mean, that is just something that will ruin not just a game, but it'll ruin a season. It's ruined the Ravens before. Now, I don't want to bring back bad memories, but Tyler Boyd, 4th down, a few years ago, knocks the Ravens out of playoff contention because the Ravens weren't tackling him. Just ran right out. Boop, boop, boop. Touchdown. Now, the Ravens don't technically need to go out and get somebody to tackle because guys on this team have proven that they can tackle. Marlon Humphrey this year has not been a good tackler. In years past, he's been a tremendous tackler. Deshaun Elliott, he's known as like a heavy-hitting tackler. He's missing. He's whiffing. Chuck Clark is missing. He's whiffing. These are guys that in years past have been able to prove that they can do it. But right now, they just aren't doing it. And I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's a lack of willpower, a lack of leadership. I honestly could not tell you why it's happening. I believe it's mental, though. I don't think it's a physical thing that they can't do it. I think it's just that they won't do it. They aren't doing it. And so while right now this is not a championship caliber defense, I think they do still have the players in place that can make it a championship caliber defense because one of the issues is the Ravens are blitzing, right? And when they're blitzing, they're not getting home. And quarterbacks are able to check it down. And they're able to say, oh, yeah, let's hit our running back. Let's hit our wide receiver in the flats. And they're doing that. And in a typical Ravens defense, when that would work under Wink Martindale, because the guys would still check it down against the Ravens, we'd see Deshaun Elliott zoom in and punch that guy. We'd see Marlon Humphrey come in and make a massive hit. We'd see a linebacker come out and tackle him really quickly. That's not happening this year. So the plays where the Ravens are blitzing, it used to be the Ravens blitz. Oh no, it was a 3-yard completion. The quarterback got it out, got it to the running back, got a couple yards, tackled. Now it's becoming Ravens blitz. They got it to the running back. Guys are in position. Guys miss. All of a sudden, it's a 15, 20-yard play, and the blitz was no longer worth it. Blitzes are worth it if the quarterback completes it, and they only get 2 yards, 3 yards. That's a worth it blitz, in my opinion. The issue is that it's not. The tackling is holding the Ravens defense back on the blitzes. So I feel like the blitzes are working to the level that they're supposed to be working. It's just that the tackling after the pass is made, the check down is made, is holding back the blitz. It's not about the blitz not getting home because the Ravens blitzes haven't gotten home very well in recent years. It's just that when they haven't gotten home, the team has done a great job of recovering and tackling when they find an open guy a couple yards down the field or even in the backfield. They find him and they hit him. That's not happening this year. So I feel like the players that the Ravens have with this current roster, yes, they can win the Super Bowl. It's just about one. I think the offense is okay. Obviously, it can be improved. I talked about that earlier. But the defense, it's got to be the tackling, and I don't think that's not something that you can go out and get one player. I don't care if you get Ray Lewis. Well, actually, Ray Lewis may help because of the motivational stuff. But if you brought, I'll bring up somebody that's not as known as much of a leader, still a great player. Let's say Luke Kuechly. I don't know. Luke Kuechly, great leader, still doesn't really fit that. But Luke Kuechly, great linebacker. Yeah, he would help, but none of the other players would still be able to tackle. So it's not like one guy will be able to come in and fix this whole thing. It's a culture thing, in my opinion. It is a team bonding, team chemistry, team mentality thing with this tackling. And right now they're not there, but I feel like this roster can get there. So those are my thoughts on it. While yes, the team can absolutely get better, I think they should still make moves. If they don't make moves, don't lose hope that this team can't win. Because look at the teams that, yeah, they beat the Chiefs. And people may say, oh yeah, but the Chiefs aren't as good this year. What teams did the Chiefs lose to? The Ravens, 5-2. Chargers, I believe 5-2. The Titans. Oh, the Titans I think are 4-3. But you know who the Titans are? Oh no, the Titans are 5-2. All 5-2 teams have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Bills, also 5-2. They have Derrick Henry. So that automatically, you can lose any game that you play against Derrick Henry. So, like, that's not a bad team that the Ravens beat. The Chargers, really solid team that the Ravens beat. Like, they can beat good teams. They've lost to some good teams as well. But they've shown that with this roster, they can beat good teams. They're still getting players back. Chris Westry, Nick Boyle, Sammy Watkins, all those players. Heck, Derek Wolfe is coming back. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the current roster. And obviously, I think making moves can help. But I don't think that if they don't make a move, that they're out of the Super Bowl race. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for more Daily Ravens content, and I will see all of you again tomorrow.